So does your wife watch any of these games with you? Does she?
No, she has the female, complex, multitasking brain. That's why they can't be happy. They just always, they're like, what is that lizard that can look at two things at once? That's what they're like. So they got the shoes they want, and then they see some other woman walking in going, oh, look at this skinny bitch over here. She thinks she's cute, right? And that's what I've learned.
Oh, God.
You know what makes women happy? Nothing. Nothing makes them happy, and that is why they are slowly taking over the NFL, because it annoys them that we can just sit there with like a pizza and a drink, like, that's not holding, and just be like, and enjoy ourselves.
So you're saying that because you're happy, that you think your wife and women in general want to take
They're jealous of it. They're jealous how simple the male brain is, that you can just sit there and be entertained and find true happiness, and it just bugs them, so they got to ruin it. And they're slowly taking over the NFL. You know, all next month, once again, they're going to dress everybody in the NFL like newborn baby girls, for whatever reason. Did you forget that there's breast cancer for a year ago?
Yeah, so they did it last year, and they're going to do it again this year.
Yes. They're slowly going to take it over, and they're going to move us out. Because I'm telling you, I don't understand why they keep trying to go into a male football league. It's like, why don't you guys band together and start your own league? Get your own thing going. But I realize they don't want their own thing. They don't want their own shit. They want our shit. I don't know what it is. And I think it's because we're happy. We're just sitting there enjoying ourselves, having a good time without them. It drives them nuts. And they just got to go in there and ruin it.
So they got women's basketball.
They don't even like it. They don't even like most of them don't even like football. Like, I don't get it. I don't get like the fascination. Like, if my wife is having like 3 of her friends over, I screw. I leave. I don't need to be there and ruin it for her. I know you guys. I'm going to change the dynamic because I'm there, and you can't talk about 100% female stuff. Out of courtesy, I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to leave.
But they can't do that, you're saying?
One guy, one chauvinistic jackass up there understands what I'm saying.
He's like Edison. I don't know. He invented all this stuff to everybody. What are you talking about?
Did he? Did he sit down and like, I'm going to invent the iPhone, and just sat there soldering, possibly welding, right? Didn't he have like a crew of guys helping him out?
Sure, maybe he did.
So why, when he went to those nerd fests, didn't he have like a chorus of scientists behind him who helped him out too? He walked out like he was Tesla. Like tapping into electricity.
I'm not with you.
I think he just kind of like told people what to invent. Like he just kind of came in like, I want my whole music collection in that phone. Get on it! And then all these nameless, faceless guys made it happen.
Yeah.
And then they have the big nerd concert, and he goes out there by himself. No belt, sneakers on. I just didn't buy it. It's a great way to tap out from the news and just, watch a game and get away from it. And now there's like all these causes are getting like attached to it. Like I was watching the World Series, and I'm in the middle of watching the World Series, and out of nowhere they have this moment, stand up to cancer. I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden everybody stands up holding up a sign of somebody that they either know that's dying of cancer or died of it in the middle of the game. It's just like, what are you doing? Trying to watch a game here. No, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy. He died of cancer. It was horrific. I could have lifted him up off the sheet with 2 fingers. It was horrible. Hey, enjoy. Oh, by the way, I got molested when I was 9. Enjoy the rest of this.
Are you worried about him at all being in office? Do you think, does it concern you?
I don't know. I feel like the president, you only see him like once every 3 weeks. It'd be like if you were dating a chick and if she was a jerk, but you only saw her once every 3 weeks. There's like no way she could break your heart,
What?
No, you gotta see.
Immigration site to move to Canada crashed. Do you think people are going to really move to Canada? Do you think
I hope so. I hope so. There's too many people here. The rent's too high and all that. Just thin it out. Give us a little negotiating thing. And then what's going to be funny up there, it's not going to be Michael Moore's Canada. What he said, oh, you keep your doors unlocked and everybody's drinking syrup and
He didn't say everyone's drinking syrup. I'm quite
Talk to
certain.
anybody of color that tried to make it playing hockey up there. Listen to the stories they have. You'd be like, were you in Alabama? No, it was in Manitoba. Yeah, those are still white people up there.
Yeah.
Just because they're on the other side of the invisible line doesn't mean that they're not going to act like white people.
Yeah. So you're not a big fan of Canada, is what you're saying?
No, I love Canada, but I don't go up there with like this starry look in my eye, like everyone's going to be riding around on mooses, right? It's just like
It's environmental stuff. You really are worried about it.
I am and I'm not. I just also feel like, it'd probably be a good thing if most of us died. You know what I mean? It would be. There's there's nothing wrong with driving a gas-guzzling car. There's just too many people doing it.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out a way to like thin out the herd, and it's too late. These are the hard decisions that are going to have to be made.
We're here to hear about some hard choices.
Yeah. So you know how I would do it?
What?
I would randomly sink cruise ships. Yeah.
What? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's hear him out. Why would you randomly sink cruise ships?
Because you get like 2,500 to 3,000 people a whack, right? And I think it's a good mix of people to get rid of. To be honest with you. They're not interested.
What happens after the second time they catch on?
No, because this is what you do. As you're sinking them, you're building an exact replica. So as you're eliminating people, you're like creating jobs. And you just, like a lazy Susan. Like my latest thing that's driving me nuts is I spent 20 years in the back of the plane getting treated like an animal. And I finally worked my way up to the front of the plane, Group 1, which means you get to board like it's your plane. Right?
You get to board.
Yes. You
first,
sit in a chair that's the size for a human being. There's a place for your bag.
Yep.
Right? You get a little hot towel and all that. And then the second I get that, all of a sudden now, there's like these 20 groups that are like pre-boarding now. Like half the plane qualifies, and they're getting on, and I just sit there just like losing my shit. It starts off like it's just like anybody in uniform, anybody in military. So it's like, all right. But after like the 20th guy, you just start being like, have you seen action? Are you on the front lines at least? Right? Then it's anybody with kids, anybody with disabilities, and then just anybody with a red shirt. Hey, it's Tony Tuesday. Anybody named Anthony can get on. Dude, one time, I saw this guy get on the plane. Okay, he wasn't in uniform. He didn't have kids. He had all his limbs. He wasn't limping. He didn't have a cough. He just walked on the plane. It's like, who the is that guy? Like, how did I get on before that guy? So... No, I always hated the anxiety of being in the back of the plane. I just remember, like, the worst is whenever you would get your seat and you'd sit there and they're about ready to close the door and you'd have that empty seat next to you. Like the poor man's first class. You're like, oh, shit, I'll bring the armrest up. I can actually be great. And then all of a sudden, some fat bastard gets on the plane and you're like, no. You're like Quint at the end of Jaws, like sliding down the phone. Right? One time, I swear to God, this is all true. This dude got on. He was so fat. He was sitting next to me. I was literally next to him and behind him. He like tried to make himself smaller, and he like folded his arm, and his lat came out like a, those old Western saloon things. I'm just sitting behind this thing. That motivates you to try to get to a certain place in life.
20 years, you work your way up to the front, and now still they won't let you.
Now that fat guy's considered disabled because he can't stop eating cookies. So he gets on. Look at everybody groaning. 90% of the world is starving to death. That guy. Eat salad and get on the treadmill like the rest of us. We're all.